Hello and good day to you. I would like to talk today about tradition. Why do I care about tradition, do you say? Well, I was attempting to determine, figure out, and analyze why mosh pits have to be so violent. I love rock concerts. I go to them. I like mosh pits. I like participating with a little pogo here and there. A little skanking here and there. And, yeah. But why do they have to be so violent? I was trying to figure it out. I was looking up tradition. And I was trying to figure out if I could dispel tradition. And, well, now that you understand what this video is going to be about, let me just introduce myself. I am JJ Styles. I reside in Tucson, Arizona. I've been in bands. I run Bright Idea Records. And I have a frequently asked questions thing at, well, you can Google it. The JJ Styles Frequently Asked Questions FAQ. If you want to say things like, hey JJ, why do you have moobs? It's answered in the FAQ. So, now that we got that out of the way, let's talk about tradition. I was trying to figure out why mosh pits have to be so violent, because I have watched videos from all over the world, live performances from really awesome rock bands. And you might say, oh, why do you watch these things, JJ? And it's because I play music, like I know how to play guitar and bass and kind of know how to drum and sing. And when I watch, my idols perform live, I get to see when they fuck up and when they don't fuck up, And it's great either way, because when they do fuck up, I'm like, yeah, they're not that great. Yeah, I'm just as good as those guys. Yeah, that's right. And when they don't fuck up, I'm like, oh, they deserve the praise I've been giving them, because they're fucking awesome and never fuck up. So, watching live concerts is just a good way to, go. So, when I'm watching them, sometimes I see mosh pits in action, people thrashing around and stuff from all over the world. People thrash differently, they mosh differently in Germany or in Japan or in the United States. The United States is kind of a violent place, well, I started thinking to myself, what are the most violent mosh pits I've ever witnessed, where people really got messed up, and I didn't have to think too hard. Basically it's Slayer concerts and DRI concerts, Dirty Rotten Imbeciles. Over a time period of like 20, maybe 25, maybe 30. I don't know how many years. I've been going to concerts a long time, and I can say by far DRI and Slayer concerts have been the most violent, mosh pit show concerts I've ever been to. People end up in wheelchairs at the end of Slayer concerts. And people end up laid out flat on the ground, bleeding from their faces at DRI concerts. And I've been to more than just one. I've been to like 3 DRI concerts and like 2 Slayer concerts, and I can guarantee at every single one of those concerts, shit was more violent than I've ever seen. And I've seen plenty of shows, so I'm thinking to myself, alright, why are these 2 bands so violent? What is this? Is this like, it's not the bands, okay? It's the fans. So, I'm like, okay, why are the fans of these bands so violent? So I'm trying to figure out the genres, when I get on the computer here, it says that Slayer is a, what does it say here? Thrash metal? Is that what it is? Wait. DRI. DRI is crossover thrash, hardcore punk, thrash core, and thrash metal. Alright, that makes sense. All those fit with the sound that I'm familiar with. Alright, and Slayer, they are really kind of pigeonholed as just thrash metal. The internet says Slayer is thrash metal. So, which makes sense to me because DRI, in their early career, they were, you know, more punk rock than metal, you know. And I mean, thrash is pretty great. There's a ton of punk rockers, you know, that will unanimously say, oh yeah, thrash metal, that's the shit, you know. So, you know, there's something about thrash metal that does strike a vein with, you know, strike a nerve, you know. Well, punks, it's like, yeah, it's kind of it's not hair metal, you know, it's not, whatever. It is thrash metal, and thrash metal is that kind of music that kind of makes you want to mosh and fuck people up, you know. And like I was saying earlier in the video, the reason I'm trying to figure this out is because I think I explained this. I've been in a lot of mosh pits. I've been to a lot of shows. And I can appreciate a good mosh pit, but they're different all around the world. You know, like in Germany, I watched this Agent Orange. I don't know if you're familiar. They're kind of surf punk, you know, from California. You know, I saw this Hamburg, Germany video where, like, you see German kids and they're going like, doof, 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 and they're like darting at each other. It's kind of different from the American counterclockwise, generic, circular kind of thrashy mosh pit that we have where, you know, you're kind of like running around clockwise, just kind of hammering people. And if somebody gets drunk and confused or hit in the head and confused something and they go clockwise, they end up getting smeared. Much like a queer. In a Red Rover, send the guy that's going clockwise over. Boom! You know, so... And I can't remember what Japan does. They're just kind of like, nah, not really. Okay, so back to the subject at hand. I was trying to determine perhaps the imagery of the thrash metal. That was that was like the link I found between DRI and Slayer, was the thrash metal genre. So I'm like, alright, maybe that's it. But there's plenty of thrash metal band. Like, if you go to a Metallica concert, it is not necessarily going to be that violent. You're not going to see people in wheelchairs or laid out on floors, or people with black eyes, bloody noses, teeth knocked out. You know, that isn't the average Metallica concert. And Metallica is like, a good portion of their music is totally thrash metal. So it's like, alright, what is it? Is it like the satanic imagery in Slayer? Is it Satan that's making these people so violent? Or perhaps it's DRI's, you know, fucking stick figures, street sign imagery that's making people so violent, you know? Like, granted, the DRI imagery that I am accustomed to, the Dirty Rotten Imbeciles imagery that I am accustomed to, kind of looks like a rude boy skanking to some ska music, which is not necessarily that violent. ska music is kind of peaceful. You know, it's like, yeah, I don't expect my teeth to get punched out at a, Sublime or Bob Marley or, well, those bands are dead. Well, I mean, the singers are. Alright, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be a downer. I'm just saying, if I'm at like a 311 concert or a Agent Orange concert, Agent Orange kind of ska. No. Alright, hopefully you catch my drift, okay? Like, I don't think it's the imagery. Because, like, ska. Alright, so point being is it's the thrash metal thing. It's the thrash metal link. But Metallica, okay, does not compute. So what is it really? It's tradition. It's fucking tradition, man. Like, DRI, Slayer, they've been around for a little while. There's some people that grew up with them. And they've become accustomed to this kind of behavior at concerts. You know, it's just like, if you're going to get into a DRI pit or a Slayer pit, you gotta expect some certain things, you know? And I was thinking this is a bad thing, but I started looking up tradition, and I'm kind of on the fence. I'm almost kind of thinking maybe all the violence and chaos is a good thing. I'm just gonna stay the fuck away from the pit, because I've been injured plenty of times. I mean, it's tough to stay out of the pit sometimes when you really feel the music, you know. But if you end up injured, well, hopefully you got health insurance, you know, if you're feeling the music that hard. But I was looking up traditions, and I found the 7 reasons why traditions matters at Frank Sonnenberg Online. I'm just going to try and put links in this video if I actually post it. I kind of just feel like ranting just so I can remember this for myself. Because I talked myself out of, violence. I'm like pro-violence now, even though I'm not really, because I don't want to get injured. But it says tradition matters because tradition contributes a sense of comfort and belonging. It brings families together and enables people to reconnect with friends. And I mean, I've definitely said to people, dude, remember that DRI concert where that guy was like, just like all laying there in the corner? And they're like, oh my god, that guy was fucked up. And I'm like, yeah. So, yeah, that violent tradition of fucking people up, it does connect people. Okay, so tradition reinforces values such as freedom, faith, integrity, a good education, personal responsibility, a strong work ethic, and the value of being selfless. I don't know about all that jazz. I mean, the value of being selfless? Yeah, I mean, if somebody gets knocked down in the pit and I pick them back up, or if somebody picks me up instead of trampling me to death, yeah, I guess that's a selfless act, you know? I mean, I try to pick people up because who wants to see somebody trampled to death? So, okay. But, work ethic? Well, I guess it does take work to mosh. I mean, it's not exactly easy. Responsibility. I have looked out for girlfriends and family members in the pit before, or just friends, so I guess maybe that's a sense of responsibility. Personal responsibility. Oh, looking out for your whatever. Good education. That has nothing to do with it. Nah, fuck it. Good education. Yeah, right. You fucking get your good education knocked out of your head in the fucking Slayer or DRI pit. Well, unless your education consists of dodging elbow. Ow! Fuck you, cable. Obviously, my education does not consist of dodging tables. I need to get some education. Okay. Faith. yeah, the faith that the mosh pit's not gonna kill you and swallow you whole. I've seen some people that look like they had faith get pretty fucked up. Like the wheelchair people and the knocked out people I was talking about. I don't know if any of those people died, but if they did, they don't have faith now because they're dead. But if they didn't die and they lived through that, they probably said, I'm never getting into another mosh pit again, and probably lost faith. So that is a stupid reason for a tradition. Faith? What does that even mean? Faith in what? Faith, okay. But values such as freedom, yes, that is a very good reason because we are all free to do whatever the fuck we want. If we hear the music, jump in and go, whoa! Then, yeah, that's freedom. So, that is tradition. You're free to do it whether you want to or not. So, and integrity. That's stupid, dude. Alright, so I don't jump into a Slayer or DRI pit and I don't have integrity? Is that what you're saying? I've been in them before. I lived through them before. So I don't ever have to go through that again. I have integrity. So don't tell me anything different. Or I'll knock you out outside of the pit. No, I'm just kidding. I really don't care. If you think I don't have integrity, well, my mother probably... No, my mom knows I have integrity. That's why I can get by and I don't care if you think I have integrity. There's people that know I have integrity. So those are the two stupidest reasons for tradition are faith and integrity. Those have got to be the stupidest reasons. Okay, so the next one is tradition provides a forum to showcase role models and celebrate the things that really matter in life. Yeah, those bands are role models, and the people that survive the pits are role models. So, sure, I'll buy that for $1. Alright, tradition offers a chance to say thank you for the contribution that someone has made. I've played on stage before. I know that I always appreciate when the audience gets violent, so it makes it more fun. You're like playing and you're like, wow, they really like us or something, because they are fucking each other. Well, when they do it in an artistic fashion. That's the nice thing about, that's one of the nice things about a circle, counterclockwise circle mosh, is when people are doing that, you know they're moshing. So it's like, you're like, oh, they're doing that because of us. You know, it's like if they were just having a fight, you know, just killing each other, you might not know if that was because of the music or not. They might have just had an argument. Somebody might have stepped on somebody's foot. So you're like, maybe the music didn't cause that. But that nice artistic formation, you know that's because of the music. So, alright then. Yeah, you're a showcase to celebrate your role models. Alright, tradition offers a chance to say thank you for the contribution that someone has made. Isn't that saying the exact same thing that the last thing said? Let's see. Showcase role models, celebrate the things that matter in life, and a chance to say thank you for contributing. Alright, so maybe that's what I was trying to say, is when they're doing that artistic mosh pit, they're saying thank you so the band can appreciate it. But the previous thing was really more about showcasing the role models and celebrating the things in life that matter. So the fact that they do it at all makes people say, oh, this band must really rock. So the fact that they even do it makes people go, oh wow, DRI and Slayer must fucking rock. You know, and okay, sorry about that glitch. I ran out of hard drive space. I had to delete some files. So I got 11 gigabytes free now. I should be able to finish this. I want to keep this below a half an hour. So, and there's only like 2 or 3 more things to discuss. This might be less than 25 minutes. It says, tradition enables us to showcase the principles of our founding fathers and celebrate diversity and unite as a country. You know, I don't know about the country thing. I mean, like, Slayer and DRI travel all over the world. So, and people fuck each other up all over the world. So, I don't know about the country thing, but founding fathers, yes, DRI and Slayer are some founding fathers of thrash metal. So, if you want to beat each other senseless out of tradition, because at the original DRI and Slayer shows, that's what people did, knocking each other's teeth out and such. Well, then, that would be paying homage to your founding fathers, now wouldn't it? Do I really need to say more about that? Alright, let me try to keep wrapping it up. Tradition serves as an avenue for creating lasting memories for our families and friends. Come on. I told you about the wheelchair, and the guy laid flat on his back. Obviously, it creates memories, so I don't gotta say much more about that. And tradition offers an excellent context for meaningful pause and reflection, which is what this whole video has been about. Sorry, I'm pausing and reflecting. I do believe I have proved my point, which I originally proved to myself, because I was like, tradition's stupid. I don't want to get hurt in the pit. I hate getting hurt in the pit. I got like, look at that, I got a broken finger, because, well, that didn't happen in the pit, but violence, man, I always get injured, but I don't know, I guess I got bad genes. So I gotta pick my violence carefully. But when the music's playing, sometimes you can't, and yeah, it's tough to be careful when the music's really good. So maybe keep a distance from the pit. You know, if you start moshing and you're far away from the pit, you probably won't get injured. Of course, you won't hear the music as good neither. So, alright, I'm JJ Styles. This was my discussion on DRI, Slayer, thrash metal, traditional values, and the effect on people. So, basically. Alright, have a good day, and I hope you learned something.